I'm Jason Salas. Thank you so much for joining me. We have a wonderful interview to get our show started off. A project to help spread Chamorro awareness, history, culture, our heritage, who we are as a people in San Diego. There are many, many Chamorros who now make America's finest city their home. We have MARYLES BENAVENTE. Half a day, MARYLES.
Half a day.
And my family and yours go very, very close, so it's good to see you here.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Right. And MARYSE and AGUSTIN. Mary, half a day.
Half a day.
All right. You are an expert, I would say, in... We were just talking before we started the interview on exactly what the Chamorro presence is in San Diego. Before we talk about the whole project and the House of Chamorro and everything like that, can you just let people that might be uninitiated know exactly how many Chamorros and how strong is the spirit of our people in San Diego?
And it's, well, to make it a bigger picture, it's not even just for San Diego.
Okay.
It's really to address all the Chamorros that have left Guam or that never came back to Guam, you know, the children.
Mm-hmm.
And it's everybody that's in the mainland. And I have to tell you, this is going to be an alarming rate, that we're expecting the 2020 census to say that the people in the mainland, the Chamorros, will outweigh the percentages of people in Guam.
That's
or the
interesting.
Marianas.
There's a lot of people from like the other outer islands in Micronesia that come here.
Yeah.
We've got the same condition. There's more, say,
Yes.
one particular ethnic group that are in, are in their home
Yeah, the
territory.
percentages is increasing. And while California is predominantly Chamorros more than any other state in the mainland, it's still, it's still saying that there's a lot of Chamorros more than in the Marianas. So that's what we're trying to do in San Diego, is that we want to establish and maintain that culture where people can come to San Diego and get their culture back, as well as educate other people.
Oh, I got to tell you, Mary, I went to the Guam Club when I was
Right.
when I was in 11th grade, and I went there.
Yeah.
Best chicken caliguin I've ever had was in San Diego. It was unbelievable. Okay, and of course, to actually the House of Chamorro is being built right now to make sure we can finish the project and do it
Yes.
right. There's a fundraiser. It's going to be, shall I say, MARYLES, an art show?
It's going to be an
Exhibit?
No, it's an exhibit of treasures and collections. Tesoro Jan Rinikuhi Siha. But anyway, it's treasures and collections that reflect the variety of interests and passions and hobbies and legacies also of different members of class of 1968 and their families. We've invited family members in case the class alumni feel like they don't have a collection. But we really embarked on this task because we have family and friends in Southern California. We have members of class of 1968 who are members of the House of Chamorro project, and that was the impetus for us to respond to the call for some help to raise monies for building the House of Chamorro. It made really good sense to many of us that we help promote public education about Guam, about Chamorros, about the culture, about the language, about everything about the islands. And whether or not we ever go to San Diego, we have family who are there, we have friends, we have acquaintances who could benefit from having a cultural center there that would speak to the idea that Chamorros deserve a place in venues such as Balboa Park to stand alongside other nations and say, we exist. We exist.
And I like what Mary said about teaching like a new generation, because there may be,
Yes.
maybe even 2-3 generations deep of people that have Chamorro blood coursing through their veins.
Never came home.
Yeah.
Yes, never came
Exactly,
home.
and that's what they need to know, that this is home and
Yes.
this is who you are. I mean, if you consider, yourself a lifelong Seattleite,
Yes.
that's totally fine. If you're
Right.
if you're Wyoming born and bred, that's cool too.
Right.
But this is who you are.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, you think about it, there's Guamanian and then there's Chamorros. So I could be a Californian because I've been in California for 30 plus years, but I am a Chamorro. So, it's that connection that
Our
we're
sales
trying
tax
to
is a
bring
little
back.
bit better than theirs too.
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Especially in Northern California.
But and again, the whole idea is that we are going to be a cottage in Balboa Park that has over 14 to 20 million tourists a year. And that's people international. And then plus the Chamorros that come, not just the Chamorros that live in San Diego or live in Southern California, or even in California, but the Chamorros that come from the other states.
that's what we're trying to reach out to.
Okay, and we want to invite each and every one of you on October 20th at the multi-purpose room at the Guam Museum downtown in Higaña.
Yes.
It's on Sunday. It's just for a very short afternoon. We're calling it a merienda type of exhibit because
1:30
it's
to
just
4:30.
1:30 to 4:30.
Yeah.
And it's a one-time, very unique kind of exhibit. Nobody has tried this here in Guam, but we've gotten a lot of excitement from various members. We have people like Dr. Laura Sauder, Rosa Palomo, all class of 68. They will be displaying their collections of artifacts, religious artifacts, and language and cultural artifacts. But we have a lot of other members who are going to display their handicrafts, their collections. We have vintage cameras. We have mechanical jeweled pens to be in display. Some of these have never been displayed. Very unusual storyboards from Palau. A lot of
Those are timeless, though.
Yes.
Palauan
Yes.
storyboards are beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will have a table of toys from the past, from the 50s, 60s. We will have themed tables, like a table giving tribute to the war, Vietnam War, and other wars as a running thread in our lives. We grew up in the 60s with Vietnam very much looming in the forefront, but we
Absolutely.
also have fathers who were in World War II, have sons who, and family members who served in the Desert War and the current Middle East war. So we have a tribute type of table for that. We have a number of classmates who are paying tribute to their family members who have left behind legacies in the musical arena. We have two women whose mothers are both master weavers. Loling Althagui, actually, it's her mother, Ama Althagui. Loling was our classmate. They have a tribute for her. We have travel memorabilia from different folks. We have really an interesting amount of. We have a lot of whimsical collections of angels, fairies, frogs, birds, birdhouses. But it's going to be fascinating. I promise you it's going to be really interesting.
And we do want to invite the entire island community
We
to
want
make
to
sure
invite
Yes.
everybody to come and take in this one-time exhibition of the things that I think reflect our passions and our interests. Those of us who are pushing 70s, we're 69, 70 years old, and rather than wait for the future to display this as artifacts, we're taking the impetus to share what brings us delight and bring it to the exhibit. And we have, I need to tell you.
Well, we do have to go because unfortunately we are out of time.
Okay.
But
We have a lot of
yeah.
displays to
Okay,
show
thank you. And there is
highlight.
so much more we could say about this, but we want to
Yes.
save it for the exhibit, which again is
Okay.
on Sunday the 20th, starting